What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and today let's continue for another round of the COR Championship, the Chicane Online Racing League Championship. And after the round 9 at Austria, where we went from pole to an alternate strategy, if you haven't seen how that one turned out, go check it out, as I will leave some kind of annotation for you to be easier to go check it out. But now we are going to the Silverstone circuit for the British Grand Prix, round 10 of the COR Championship. And jumping to the results of qualifying, because I forgot to record qualifying, which was rain affected, but towards the end it started to dry out, so we got the chance to go out on dry tires. And I got pole for the second time in a row, also my second time in the season, followed by El Nabo just 55 thousandths of a second apart from me, so it was very close between both Portuguese drivers. Then closing the top 3 we have another Manor of Omer, so a very good at least qualifying result for both Manors. And in 4th and 5th we have both Ferraris. We are still trying to bring the fight to both Force India and Manor with a good qualifying display from the Scuderia. In 4th with Chisel and with Widescreen Jamie occupying the 5th place. Then in 6th we have the first of the Force Indias in Alex, followed by Joe M91, which I think had his best qualifying performance of the season with that 7th place. Then we have Ash Bandicoot in 8th, Shady in 9th, and Rogue closing the top 10 for his Red Bull team. These are the results, so now I guess it's time to move for the actual Grand Prix. "67 years separate us from the first Grand Prix, which saw this very track take Giuseppe Farina to the top step of an all Alfa Romeo podium back in 1950. 67 years later, the F1 circus still comes back to this legendary racetrack, and let's see who can reach the top of the modern podium today." Crossing the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone circuit form the 5.8 km beating heart of Formula 1. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Habe, along with 2 DRS zones on the Wellington and Bangor straights respectively. But the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. As it is a rather unusually beautiful day here in Silverstone, let's join the drivers and enjoy the action from the cockpit. As we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the British Grand Prix. As Omer gets a very good start, he's already filling up our mirrors as we approach turn 1. He's already side by side with the Portuguese of the Mercedes, who has got his best qualifying performance of the season, at least I believe so, as they are still battling for second place as we approach turns 3 and 4. Omer gets a good exit out of turn 3 and claims second place as we are drifting away from the group behind us, as we have some yellow flags by the exit of turn 4, and crossing the line to end the first sector. We already have an 8-tenths gap to our teammate, so that is going to be a very good start for my standards. As we are now in lap 2, approaching the end of lap 3, as we are quite struggling with the steering wheel, I just noticed. But nevertheless, we're going to post the fastest lap of the race so far, as we are already over 1 second ahead of our teammate. So that's a great indication of our pace, at least in these early stages of the Grand Prix. As we are now approaching the end of lap 4, and we keep increasing our gap to Omer. It is 1.3 seconds the gap at the moment. We are still on reach mix. We are just trying to get over the 1 second mark. We don't want to have any DRS attackers on us. We don't want to get attacked, because that will screw up our strategy, our entire strategy, maybe even cost us some incidents, cost us some points which might be crucial at the end of the season as we post the fastest first sector and we are still holding a gap to our teammates. And he's closing in, so he's faster at the moment, even though I'm still on rich mix. He maybe have underfueled his car, but let's see how the strategy develops for both of us, as we are in a very comfortable 1-2 for the Manor at the moment. But he's definitely closing him. You can see by his mirror, you can see by the minimap, and he just posted the fastest lap so far. So he's just over 0.8 of a second behind me, and that is going to be dangerous because apparently he's faster than me at the moment, and he's going to have DRS, and it's going to be hard to defend from him. But let's see how it goes, as we are having a good exit out of turn 6. I want to call it turn 6, I'm not sure about it, if it actually is turn 6. But nevertheless, we are posting, and we just lost a couple of hundreds to Homer. Nothing really major, but still we are in need to defend, so we need to get our apexes right, and we need to keep going ahead of Homer. As now Jeff at this corner, he distracts us from the racing line. We dip a wheel on the outside of the corner. There is absolutely no grip there, so a driving mistake for us, costing us first place, I mean, as Homer overtakes us. We really didn't see any point in battling with him, because first he is our teammate, and second, I think at this point anyways, I think we are on the same strategy, and he looks like he might even have better tires, or at least a lighter car. So I don't know what went with his strategy, at least his fuel strategy. But yeah, that's going to be dangerous, as he is going to get away from us. He's over 1 second as we go by the beginning of the last sector of this circuit, as Alex is right on the racing line, even though he was opening for us to lap him. But a really tough spot for him to do so, and we had to make that corner tighter. So another couple of tenths lost there, and we are going to be 1.6 seconds behind Homer, so just more than half a second lost to our teammate in the last sector alone. So he definitely has better grip than us for some reason. As it is the beginning of lap 10, and Homer has dove into the pits, following I think El Nabo and some other guys occupying the top 4. Jamie is carrying on with me, and Homer is currently at P3 with a set of the soft tires, I mean, fitted onto his car. As we are now on standard, we are just going to conserve our tires because there's no need to push at the moment. Homer is going to be faster anyways because he did the undercut, and is going on to fresher and much softer tire compounds than we are. And Jamie is just over 7 seconds ahead of us, so we are in similar strategies. Homer has tried to throw us a softball, maybe try to get some reaction from me. Maybe, I really don't know what's on with his strategy, but it looks like he's going to try a two-stopper, even though the soft tires are going to be much faster than our worn mediums. He's going to pull off some serious gaps to avoid getting overtaken once we get to his second pit stop window, because as you can see, it's only a 60 km/h pit lane and a very long one, so it's a very slow pit time for this track, which might cost them his strategy really, as we are going on into the hard tires. And Homer is coming out with the fastest lap so far in first place with quite a commanding lead. But crucially for us, we come out of the pits being undercut by El Nabo, and also behind Chisel, who I think is on the medium tires at the moment, and he just held on further than a lot of us did. I don't think he qualified in the top 10, at least I'm not remembering at the moment. So if he did not, he has a couple of laps more due to his fresher tires. As we are increasing, cutting the gap to El Nabo, as he is battling with Chisel, as the Mercedes driver is on fresher hard tires, and is just going to have to dispose of the Ferrari driver. Talking of disposing of the Ferrari driver, is maybe trying to outbrake him on the outside of the corner. That does not happen. I don't know if Chisel closed the door on him, or if that was a larger gap than we could see from where we were standing. Nevertheless, El Nabo could not make an overtaking opportunity at that corner, and it's going to stand the places as they are, even though we are catching up to the pair battling in front of us. As you can see now at the end of lap 13, we already got right to the rear diffuser of El Nabo, and we are going to get a better traction in this first complex. As you can see, we get a better exit at turn 2, and we were faster. We tried some move down the inside. That was quite a launch to be honest, but nevertheless no drama occurred that time around. I did not lock up any wheels. El Nabo was certainly not expecting me to break that late, and he carried on with his racing line as he was entitled to. But yeah, I was trying just to let him know that I was there and I was going to try a move for it. Nevertheless, speaking of moves for it, El Nabo goes on the inside of this corner. Chisel has to go wide really to avoid any sorts of contact, and is demoted down to P3 as his tires are certainly going to drop off massively. Even though I have Jamie right behind me, so Chisel might try to hold me up for his teammate. I don't know how it is going to go. Nevertheless, we are going to get the same speed difference as we did to El Nabo, so we go there on the inside, but this time around we lock up and we have contact. We do a half spin because of the contact system in this game. We are almost literally dead stop, but we still got spun for some reason. Nevertheless, that cost us some seconds to the pair in front of us, which is kind of unfortunate, and we will need to get back on track, get back on our apexes, on our rhythm, and try to catch up to them once again, especially with Chisel being so with such a long stint on those set of medium tires. That is going to help us, because we are going to be much faster than him in the following laps. As you can see at the end of lap 15, Chisel is already gone into the pits for a set of another tires. I don't think we will be able to see which compound he is going to switch to, as I think I caught it at the corner of my eye that Chisel was going on to the hards, but right after that Jamie overtook him, so we may never know. As we are at the beginning of lap 17 and our teammate is coming out of the pits, so as you can see, the soft stint for him did not quite pay off, because he is behind us even more than well, he was he was in front of us at the beginning of the pit period, but now he is behind us. He has actually come out of the pits in 5th, I want to say, because unless that is a lapped car, there is Jamie, some car, and then Omer, at least as I could make off by the minimap. And we are battling with El Nabo for the lead. He's a very fierce competitor, as I have had some practice races upcoming to this weekend with him, so I know how he drives around this corner, around this track. He knows how I drive, so it's going to be a very hard battle to dispose of El Nabo and try to get the first place. Even though he pulled the undercut on us, I don't know by how many laps, but he's going to have his tire life in a worse situation than we did, and that allowed us to brake later, dive on the inside, give him space on the outside at the exit of the corner, now cover the inside line through this chicane section, which leads into the last corner of this circuit, and we are going to hold on, and we are going to be leading the race at lap 20 with 6 laps to go. We are going to be leading the Great Britain Grand Prix, as El Nabo has already disposed of Jamie and is in 3rd place, so he's going to have fresher and softer rubber on our tires, on his tires, than we have on ours. But nevertheless, he's going to now dispose of El Nabo. He's going to have now to dispose of El Nabo to get to us and to fight us for the commanding position of this Grand Prix. So that is going to take a hit on his tire life. So fortunately, maybe when he comes to us, he will not have the tire life or the fuel situation to make a serious attempt at taking our lead. Because we are now pulling quite a gap to El Nabo. We have some breathing room, a 1.6 second breathing room, and we are increasing it lap by lap, corner by corner, with El Nabo now coming under pressure from Omer. There are some yellow flags in front of us. I think it is Alex. So we are going to lap him once again. Alex has really had a shocker of a race. I don't know what the hell happened with the Force India driver, but that's not going to help the Force India resist the charge of the Manors in the Constructors' Championship. And also in the Drivers' Championship, both Manors are in the top 4, I believe. So that is going to be quite a race for the Manor team, as we are currently first and second, as Omer already disposed of El Nabo. And we are just going to hope that Omer has neither the fuel situation or the tire life situation to make a good case of overtaking us. Nevertheless, as you can see from our strategy, at least fuel-wise, we have almost one lap of spare fuel in our car, and we are running on standard mix. So even though Omer may be catching up to us, we have the tools at our disposal to defend if he gets close to us, especially to try to avoid him getting to our DRS range, as we are going to overtake, I think that's Alex once again, nearly in the same sector. We are going to lap him twice, which shows how badly his race was going. But just to be proven wrong, it is actually a Rogue that is going to be lapped by us, and Omer is ever cutting the gap to us as we approach the final lap. The gap is going to be 1.4 tenths of a second, so it just got 4 tenths to us, as we have a very scary moment there. We have to do some counter steering full throttle, and we were actually counter steering full throttle. I never lifted through that kind of save yet to do, but yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes you have to be brave, and well, I was just relying on my instincts and on my reflex really to go as fast as I could through this circuit, because Omer is already with 1 second gap to us, and another DRS zone is approaching. So if he keeps on his pace, he's going to be at least 6 tenths of a second behind us, and I think that's enough for him to overtake us with the use of DRS, even though I may try to shut the door in him or not, depending on the situation, because this is the last lap and I honestly want to win this race, especially as it was my birthday the day after this race. So yeah, I really wanted that win as a birthday present. Nevertheless, as we go over the line to finish the second sector, the gap has actually increased to 1.4, and that is crucial for us, as he will not be able to dispose of the DRS to mount an overtaking opportunity against us, as we are going to dive onto this chicane section and onto the last corner. As you can see, maybe it can happen still. We are over 70% of tire wear, but looks like not, and you are going to cross over the line to take the win of the Great Britain Grand Prix. You are going to win at Silverstone, and it's going to be a 1-2 for Manor, as also the first time both Portuguese drivers finish on the podium, with El Nabo claiming third place, even though he got a puncture in the last corner. Maybe if the circuit was longer, Jamie could have taken him for the lead, for third place. But nevertheless, he holds on, and it is Ruben winning, followed by Omer, and El Nabo closing the top 3, with Jamie 4th, Shizzle 5th, Juno 6th, Ash Bandicoot 7th, Frozen Luffy in 8th, Speedkiller in 9th, and Joe M, I think, claiming his... I think that is either his first point or his second point in the championship. He has come into the league quite late, and he is closing the top 10, and which is great for him, followed by Lady Oscar, Rogue, Alex, and another car who was named of Daniel Kvyat, so I don't know who that is, but nevertheless, a great result for us. And now let's see how these race results come to impact our driver and constructor standings for our championship. So moving on to the standings then, we have Omer leading the championship, so that second place bring him to the throne Juno for the championship lead, and is holding currently 115 points, just 8 over the second place of Juno and 14 over the third place of Ruben. The top 3 are the only ones in the hundreds of points, followed by Shizzle in 4th with 99, and then Alex closing the top 5 with 76 points. Then we have Jamie in 6th with 71 points, so very close between the closing places of the top 5. Then we have El Napo even closer to Jamie than Jamie is to Alex, so he carries 68 points to his name. In 8th there is Pit Killer with 64 points, Hash Bandicoot with 52, and Mizzy closing the top 10 with 48 points. Now moving on to the constructors, we have Manor taking the lead as well in this championship, as they carry 210 points, the only team in the 200s, followed by Force India with 183 points, and Ferrari just 13 points behind, sit in the last podium position, as we have Toro Rosso with 90, Renault tied with Red Bull with 75 points, currently battling for 5th place in the constructors. Then we have Mercedes, who only have the 68 points that El Nabo is giving them, as they no longer have another driver. So they are currently in 7th with 68 points. Then there comes Sauber. We are battling fiercely with Haas for an 8th place, as Sauber has 32 points and Haas has 31. Then Williams going right down to the bottom of the standings with only 4 points so far, and McLaren sits still dead last after not being able to earn a point in any of the first 10 races of this championship. So that was it for today. It is all we have for the race report of the round 10 of the CRO championship. So nevertheless, if you liked this video, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, the dislike button is right beside it, so click it if you did not like this video. If you want to see more of this championship, subscribe to me. I will have plenty more action to come in the following weeks regarding this championship league. And as we are going to move on to Hungary, I want to say, I'm not sure, but I think the next round is going to be at the Angara ring. So I'm going to see you guys later, and have a wonderful day.